Hey guys, welcome to our third episode of Quarantine Kitchen. And today I am making something a little bit unexpected, steamed and baked artichokes. Do you guys like artichokes? I really hope so. The reason why I chose this was, number one, they were really cheap at the grocery store. They were like $1.28 each artichoke, which is pretty cheap in artichoke world. And also I just thought, oh, this is kind of cool because a lot of people I think are afraid of artichokes or not really sure how to do it. And so this will be a quick tutorial, first part on how to clean and steam your artichokes. You don't have to always buy them in the can or in the jar. An actual artichoke looks like this, if you didn't know. They're actually really cool and pretty. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to do this. So first, when you're shopping and you want to buy artichokes, get them when they're in season and when they're cheap, because otherwise they could be a couple dollars per artichoke, which might be fine for you, but not for others. And what we want to do is trim all these little baby leaves at the bottom. So we're going to trim these right off. Be careful. Some of the artichokes, this one's not that bad, but some of them have like what feel like thorns on the end of them. So be careful while you're doing this so that you don't hurt yourself. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is you need a good pair of kitchen shears. So I love these all-purpose ones. And what we're gonna do is trim off those sharp edges from the whole artichoke. So I'm gonna speed up this process, but you can see what it looks like. Now we've cut our artichoke and we have all of these nice, smooth, not going to hurt us edges, but what we want to do is cut off this top. So make sure you have a really sharp knife. I love my Japanese knives. They're really super sharp. But I'm going to cut the top off, just like that. Let me do that for both. Then you can see all the insides. My neighbor just came up the stairs and he probably thinks I'm crazy because my phone is in the window and he's just watching me talk to my phone in the window. So hopefully he doesn't think I'm rude because I didn't wave back. Sorry, neighbor. I'm also going to cut off the stem here. So I'm left with what's like a little artichoke ball. See it? Look how pretty it looks. It already looks like it's almost going to be edible soon. Now, just so you know, it does take a while to cook these. So we're going to be steaming them. But everybody will think you're so fancy. So don't be afraid of making these. They're really impressive and honestly it doesn't take you a lot of work. It's a little bit of preparation and then your pot does most of the work here. So I have a cast iron pot. You don't have to use a cast iron pot. Whatever pot that you have where you have a steamer insert. So I have a steamer insert just like this. That allows the water to be underneath and it's going to steam the artichoke. We don't want to boil it. We want to just steam it. So I have about an inch of water in there. You want to make sure, because this takes about an hour to steam, so you want to make sure that you go back and check your water, because if your water runs out, you are just steaming hot air and you will ruin your pan. And I've accidentally done that before. So learn from me, don't do that. Okay, so you're going to put these into the steaming pan with the tops down like this, okay? And it may not take an hour. We're gonna test, the way that you test is you push down on the stem and see how soft it is. And if it still gives you resistance, not ready yet, not ready yet, and once it slides all the way through like a little paring knife, if you can get that to slide right through the stem, that means it's cooked and it's ready to go. So I'm gonna set these in here and I'm gonna just take my camera so you can see what this looks like. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to close the lid and I'm going to stop my camera for a little bit, and when we come back, we're going to make the filling to make our stuffed artichokes with. Okay, see you in a bit. So while my artichokes are steaming, I'm going to make the filling, which I'm very excited about. So you can do a lot of different variations with your stuffing for these artichokes. So I'm using gluten-free bread, cheddar cheese, parsley, and garlic. Now, I'm using gluten-free bread because I have to, but if you just have regular breadcrumbs at home, just use those. If you are doing like a keto diet or a a grain-free diet, then I think if you used ground nuts, like maybe grind up some almonds and walnuts, I think that would be a delicious crumb topping in this. And then instead of the cheddar cheese, I'm only using that because I did not buy Parmesan cheese at the store. I'm hoping it still tastes really delicious, but you can also use Parmesan cheese, or you can just totally omit the cheese. Maybe if you are dairy free, you would want to use some nutritional yeast in your mixing, so it kind of has that like creamy, yummy, cheesy flavor. But anyway, so I have a little tiny baby food processor. If you don't have one of these, you might be able to do it in a blender, or you can just do it really well by hand, mixing everything up. But I love these. So I'm just gonna tear my bread right into here. And now this filling is like really nice and soft. So it doesn't matter if your bread is stale. I know a lot of you guys might be thinking usually you make breadcrumbs out of stale bread, but that's okay. It's gonna get moist with the butter in it anyway. Okay, I have a lot of parsley here. That might be more than I need, so I'm just going to use a little handful. I like garlic, so I've got 2 cloves of garlic. I'm putting those right in there. Adam will not be too happy about that. He says I absorb garlic and then I smell like garlic for the rest of the day. I don't really get it, but maybe it's the Italian in me. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm sorry. It's going to be noisy for just 1 second. Look how nice that looks. Good, soft, smells amazing. So I actually just decided at this moment it also needs some lemon. Artichoke and lemon goes together perfectly, so I'm just going to go grab a lemon. So I have my lemon here, and what I'm going to do is peel off its little sticker, but I'm going to zest it. I don't really want the liquid of the juice, and zesting it takes off the skin, which is the most fragrant. It has, you know, the oils in it that are so amazing. And so if you have something cool like this, it's a zester. If you don't have one, please go and buy one. You can use it for all kinds of citrus. You can also use it for garlic. You can use it for ginger. It's a really good kitchen tool. I always recommend this. This is a microplane brand. I definitely recommend it. So I'm going to do about half the lemon in here. Actually, I can do the whole thing. This lemon's pretty small. I'm impatient, so I'm going to stop there. I'm also going to add some salt to this mixture. So in we go. I'm just eyeballing it. Oops, I touched the pan with my arm. I'm just eyeballing it. You can taste it afterwards to see if you like the amount of salt that's in there. Is going to get really crispy and delicious is if we have to add a little bit of fat to it. So I'm using butter. If you are dairy free, go ahead and use olive oil instead, but butter will give you a crispier, crunchy topping after we bake it. So I'm going to pour that in here. And you know what? I'm also going to add a little olive oil. I always like to mix the two. They're such a good combination. So that was about 2 tablespoons total of the fat. Smells so good. Okay, so our artichokes are still going to be a few more minutes. So as soon as they're ready, I'm going to stuff them and then bake them, and then I'll show you guys how to do all of that. Okay, see you in a bit. About 45 minutes have passed and our artichokes are ready. So I'm going to pull them from the pot. Now make sure that you use tongs because they're really, really hot. Anytime you steam anything, it's just, there's a lot of steam here. You can give yourself an artichoke facial if you like, but just be really careful. And I'm going to flip these over, and they look so good. So I lined a small pan with some aluminum foil, and while I was waiting, I also turned my oven on to 400 degrees because we're going to bake these now with the topping inside. So as best as you can, get these side by side. Here we go. Okay, so again, this is really, really hot. So you want to work using some tools that are not your fingers. So I'm going to take my spoon here and kind of separate some of the layers because we're going to stuff the breading down into the layers of the artichoke. Okay, here are our artichokes. They look so, so good. Okay. So I'm going to bake these for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at 400 degrees, and we'll come back and see what it looks like. It smells so good in my kitchen. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna take out the artichokes, and I wanted you guys to be here for the big reveal. So let's look. Yum! Oh my gosh, these turned out even better than I thought they would. Seriously, they smell so good. Your family, your friends, they'll think you're super amazing for making this. Maybe not your kids. I'm not really sure if they're terrified of artichokes or not, but maybe not. Hopefully not. Anyway, so like I said, you can serve these as an appetizer. I should show them to you. You should serve these as an appetizer. They can be your main dish. They can be whatever you want. A snack, something delicious. I don't know. But you enjoy this. You can pull off the leaves. So what you're supposed to do is pull off the leaves. And I'm not going to do it right now because I will burn my mouth off. But see all that amazing goodness? And you just scrape it off with your teeth and eat it. And you can dip this, like I said, you can heat up some marinara sauce, or you could melt some more butter, or you can make like an aioli. But I think we've got a lot of fat going on here, so I think they'll be delicious as is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you make them. Okay, love you. Bye.